Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host Andre C. Right over here, it's the Taco Princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. It's been a busy day for a Melball over here. She's been preparing for some company for the weekend. She's been tidying up the house, had a nice workout today, even got a really nice compliment from the resident bodybuilder at the gym today. So that was nice. It's been a good day all around for the Melball. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing okay. Back work. We're just working and doing
Work, work,
stuff.
work, work, work.
Nah.
Not a Rihanna fan. Andre C is not.
Oh, it's fine. That's not one of my favorite songs, but
No, and we're not afraid of working, or we're not a fan of working either.
no. But I got to do. We got to do it to pay the bills.
Got to do what we got to do.
Yes, we do. But we are here this week to talk some NJPW Destruction in Kobe from September 24th. I think this is the most I think this is like as recent as we've gotten in a long time with the show. This comes out recording this 3 days later and coming out
Yeah.
4 days later. So it's actually the closest time frame we've done in a while for a show.
Yeah, but you know what? Both of us were looking forward to the main event of this show, so we got to get it out.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But before we get to that, I want to thank each and every one of you. I appreciate all of you guys for all the great support you're giving, all the comments on the videos, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel. We appreciate each and every one of you for all the great support. And don't forget, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. And I also want to say thank you, and everybody's reaching out through the social medias. Appreciate that. I got Bobby Bettino has reached out through Twitter and everything. Joe Demetrius Frank, I'm following you now, my boy, on Instagram, and you're all your workout videos, big inspiration for me getting back into it. So I'm watching your journey going, and I'm going to start documenting mine. So, my boy, I really do enjoy watching you doing all your workouts every time on Instagram. So keep at it, buddy, because I know I'm going to keep going at it.
Yes. We've got the workout crew over here at Andre and Melballs.
We do. So we are going to get into it. We're going to talk some destruction in Kobe. The first 5 matches, I'm going to just kind of give little overtones to, and then we'll get into, I'll get a little more descriptive on the final 5 because they're the big 5. So we're going to, so destruction in Kobe, September 24th. Before we do that, Kevin Kelly on the call with Chris Charlton, both calling it remotely. They were both actually calling it from remote locations. Kevin Kelly just having called Collision 3 or 4 hours prior, and then going to a studio or wherever to call this, and then finally get to sleep at 6 or 7 a.m. after this show is over. It's pretty darn incredible, and I respect the man for doing it.
Yes, that's what we call dedication.
100%, 100%. I know he's going to be eventually be stepping away, and that's a voice I'm going to miss so much. Just like when Don Callis left, I missed that voice so much.
Not same.
But yeah, I'm going to miss Kevin Kelly. He's been my voice of New Japan.
Same. Yeah, that's the only voice I've known.
Yeah. Again, but I hope we'll still get Chris Charlton and whoever they find. I guarantee they'll find somebody. But
I would love to have Veda Scott. Just saying.
Does she want to travel? I think they need to find a native English speaker that is in Japan, that wants to make their home base Japan, because I think they really need that person to be localized there, so they are calling every show they can, and they're not having to travel. Like Kevin Kelly has traveled so much these last few years.
That's true. Same with Charlton.
Well, Charlton does live in Japan, but he has a family. He has other things. He doesn't get to do every show. I think they need that full-time person that is situated in Japan. Like
maybe keep Veda on the strong brand then, and figure something else out for.
Yeah. Keep Veda on strong, because we got to keep Kozlov off of it.
Please. For the love of all things holy.
Oh, please, God. So we're going to start it off with a tag team match. It's Kevin Knight and Tiger Mask taking on the Bullet Club Wardogs. Again, this match was very much a Kevin Knight show, I found.
Sure is. Yes, yes.
Really shone throughout. Tiger Mask getting in there with some good stuff. Wardogs looking real. While Kevin Knight did get a lot of shine in here, Wardogs did look strong. They did. Oh, I thought you had something there.
No, just agreeing.
Yeah, and then but the Wardogs did get the win with the I'm just gonna pull that name, the full clip, which is the vertical suplex from Drilla and the spear off the top rope from Connors, and they get the win. Again, really good opening tag match. Really good, and this is all this is gonna build to Kushida coming back for October 9th to face the Wardogs with Kevin Knight for the tag team titles.
I mean, wrapping Bullet Club up in here today in the oversized, extra large, and in charge sweater that is just making me look so bulky here. This match, I felt, on top of being like a Kevin Knight shine, was just Clark, Connors, and Drilla Maloney just wrecking everything and everyone, including the fans, including commentary. It's just everybody. Everybody was like up for grabs, literally to be yeeted. It was ridiculous. But this is what I've kind of love of this new faction of Bullet Club. They're young, they're hungry, and they seem pretty pissed off, and that usually leads to some good matches and some championships, which these guys already have. As funny as they are and as great as they are, though, I'm not a fan of how they treat those titles. However,
very phallic how they tend to treat those titles.
Yeah, but not even just that. Like at one point, Drilla was surfing on one of them. You know, I mean, for me though, at least they're not clickety clink clank kinking them like they're freaking shot glasses or beer mugs or something like that. They're kind of doing that drinking and smoking and stuff on a later thing. But you're right. The Drilla Maloney and Connors looking very united, very dominant in this match. There's also that tag team match that they do, or tag team move, sorry, that they do, where Connors does the spear and Maloney does that like back shot to the knee.
Oh, yeah, the high-low.
Yeah, I really like how they do that. It looks very dirty, but I love it. It fits them so perfectly. I'm surprised I'm going to say this, but I like them being the tag champs despite how they treat the belts, because it's adding not only an kind of a branch of notoriety to the titles, but it's also kind of solidifying this era of Bullet Club in NJPW, and I kind of love it.
And I don't see these guys dropping the belts before Wrestle Kingdom, because I don't see them dropping to Knight and Kushida.
I would be silly.
I just, as much as I think Knight he's on a trajectory up in this company, he will be a star in their junior heavyweight division. I think he's better off on his own, especially coming off the All-Star Junior tournament where he beat Clark Connors in the finals or beat Clark Connors in their tournament match. I really, really liked. So he didn't win the tournament, but he beat Connors in their opening round match. I really like this kid, and I think he's going to be something big. I just don't think the tag division is where he needs to be.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I feel actually that despite Kushida's talent and despite his ability to tag very well with pretty much anybody he steps in the ring with, I actually kind of feel like Kushida's kind of been a little bit of a detriment to Kevin Knight. Almost a little bit of an anchor holding him back from his full potential. And I think a singles run would actually be the best thing for him.
Yeah, I think so. I really do.
I agree.
So in between, Kevin Kelly says that Anchor Charlton will be live in Ryogoku for the Destruction in Ryogoku card on October 9th. Very happy. And they show Bebop High School. Zack commentary with Milano Collection 18, Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi are both hanging out with Milano Kakuniki,
Yes.
calling the whole card with them. Very nice
Yeah.
to see.
Very nice
We,
to see.
we move on to the least notable match of the night, in my personal opinion. Out of all the matches, this is the least notable match, and this had the world champion in it. And this is just my
I
feeling.
wrote that down as well.
Yeah, I honestly, it was the dick and his assholes showed up. They acted like the dick and his assholes do. Um, just five guys. These three members of just five guys do their thing. It's all leading to Evil versus Sanada, and I'm already getting kind of meh on Sanada's title reign as it is,
I mean, I knew you'd get there.
and Evil, and just having him face Evil, like I'm praying that Naito takes the belt at Wrestle Kingdom. Like, I'm sorry, the Sanada experiment has not worked. I don't like he is not the most over champion on this card. He's not even the most no like Hiromu's more over than he is. Like in my opinion,
Have you
Tai
seen
Chi
the pictures coming out of their most recent conference for their match coming up?
was no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Evil looked surprisingly decent, yeah. Wearing the button-up shirt and a blazer, the socks with his shoes. That's a big thing. Sanada looked like he got stuck in like as an extra or a double for like singing in the rain and forgot to change his clothes. And like the brim of the hat he was wearing was just all over the place. It looked wet, but like it wasn't. And his clothes looked like they were hanging. They were just like so big, oversized. It did not look, I was just like, and no socks.
Yeah, I don't understand people not wearing socks with dress shoes. I hate it
How
so
bad
much.
must your feet stink?
Oh, it looks so stupid in my opinion. But
But
again, this
yeah, everything has been underwhelming, as you said. It's kind of been a wet hat, if you will.
so for the last bunch of months, everything that you've seen just five guys in House of Torture do in a
Mm,
multi-man tag happened in this. In the
mhm.
end, Taka Michinoku hits the jumping kick and the Zack driver on the dick for the win.
That was
That's
the
it.
only good part of this match, was
Yeah,
Taka actually picking up a win.
yeah, and Taka looked good. Like I'm not
Yeah.
saying Taka looks good. Douki looks good. Sonata's there. House Torture just it's the same old bullshit every time.
I have one good thing to say about them.
What's that?
One. Because it's my good deed of the day. So, big guy. This is my karma. Yujiro's hair looked really nice. It actually kind of reminded me of that guy who I like also who's leaving Noah, Nakajima. It reminded me
Mm,
actually very much of Nakajima. He had a very Nakajima look. Looked very
there you
nice.
go. But again,
Mm.
I got nothing else on this match.
Yeah, all I wrote was shenanigans, nice hair. Sonata, surprisingly enough, and considering how underwhelming he has been, Sonata getting in was what saved the match for me, but it was pretty much the end of it. So there
Hmm.
wasn't a whole lot to save. Um, yeah, I did enjoy how he got control and like took out House of Torture to set up for Taka for the win, but like, it was just it was flat. It landed very flat.
Hmm.
It did not tuck its chin.
Not even in the slightest. And again, like,
No.
if you're gonna watch this card, just skip to the Zack driver at the end by Taka Michinoku, and you're good.
Use this as your time to cry in the evening.
Just skip it. Like honestly, don't even cry through it. Just skip it. We're moving on. 10-man tag team match. Bullet Club's Alex Coughlin, Chase Owens, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Gedo the Wardogs taking on the Gorillas of Destiny, El Phantasmo, Hikuleo, Jado, Tonga, and Tango Loa. All up brawl at the start. Again, it really like, I love seeing these two factions go at it.
Mhm.
I think this like I love me some Jay White. Don't get me wrong, but his Bullet Club Japan was lackluster at best.
It was too structured, I think, is what it was. And he had, I don't want to say too much control, but like it seemed too controlled to me.
It was the Jay White Club
Yeah,
where,
whereas this
where
kind of feels like frat boys,
yeah, but it doesn't feel like
organized frat boys.
but it doesn't feel like it's the David Finlay Club. It
No,
feels
no,
like
not even a
David
little,
Finlay
no.
was the piece that started it all, but he's
Hmm.
brought in like this is a new and he's done
The
something
obvious
different.
leader.
But this is a different Bullet Club in the way he's creating it.
Hmm.
This is the
Hmm.
Bullet Club that it's this is the killers, and this is what he's saying, and he's establishing this. Jay White never established his version of the Bullet Club. It was just the Switchblade era of the Bullet Club, but it was just
That's true, actually. It was all about Jay White, yeah.
it was the Jay White Club. Where now it feels like it's not the same. It doesn't feel like the old Bullet Club, but it feels like it's a fine the Bullet Clubs because we talked about it when Jay White
Mhm.
was running it and when David Finlay first took over, we were like, why is this still a thing? It should go away. But I don't feel like that anymore. I'm enjoying what this club has
Mhm.
done, and they're
Mhm.
doing such great things. And then you have
Mhm.
the Gorillas of Destiny has turned into this really fun unit. Like I know
Mhm.
they're associated to Hantai, but they're their own thing at the same
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
And I absolutely love these guys. And the El Phantasmo edition, I think, is actually really good because it gives him that, and because he's in there with like it's not like he's just randomly joining chaos. He's
Yeah.
joining people that he has history with. He was there with Hikuleo doing
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
He had time. He was there when Tama was Tama and Tanga already out when he joined. I don't remember the timeline. But again,
Yeah, he was they were in together. They were all
yes.
together at one
So
point.
it's not like he's joining chaos where he doesn't have an association. He has an
Mhm.
association with these people. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm really loving these units. And this match was a really good match, good back and forth.
Yes.
It told great stories. It's told great stories for the tag team titles going in
Mhm.
for the New Japan Strong titles for October 9th.
Mhm.
It led to that. The hatred between Tama Tonga and David Finlay is growing and growing,
Mhm.
and it's, like I thought it was over, but it's just as hot as it was back in May when they did the initial title change. Like all of
Mhm.
this it's really good. I'm really enjoying this. And again
Mhm.
really good 10-man tag. Not like I don't have a lot to talk about specifically without just talking random moves,
Mhm.
but it was just the great back and forth, and then the Jado Gedo little war that will go on forever because again these guys were best friends forever, and I
Mhm.
love all the little stories that were told in this match, and then you have Tangaloa and Chase Owens having a story, I guess. I guess they seem like the almost the odd man out in the story.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Um, and especially like after the G1 story that they kind of had.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they did fill a really good their spots in this
No,
very, very well. I actually noted how it was really cool how Tonga actually, like with God, they're unified, but also individual. Like Tonga is the only one who kind of has like the OG Bullet Club gear right now, but Tama evolved his gear to look a little different. Whereas instead of having the color base that he's kind of been doing a lot more lately, he had the black base with the color accent. I think that looks super, super slick. He looked more like those new age Power Rangers, but like way cooler. And I think his shoes were actually my favorite part of it because they almost reminded me like of a pair of vintage shoes like that I used to have back in the 90s that like made me feel super nostalgic. But then Hikuleo has a gear similar but different to it because the design is definitely different, and but the line work on it is very similar. I mean, Jado is pretty much just like Sailor Mercury to Tamatonga Sailor Moon. He looks just like him, just a different color. But then even El Phantasmo's gear, even though it's newer, it does have a similar
hmm
line work on it. Not the same color because he's got that cobalt blue, but it's all unified but different. It's almost
yeah,
like Star, right?
yeah, and again, and then Tangaloa just has his own thing going on, and at the same time,
Mhm.
Hikuleo has has his gear, which is pays tribute to his brother Tonga,
Mhm.
but it's his own version. It's his own. It to me it screams more Black Panther like style look,
Mhm,
but it's
mhm.
still it's a version of his brother's,
You
but
know what it
in
just
his
reminded
own.
me of?
What's that?
When you're playing like a video game and you've unlocked like a classic skin. We got classic skin Bullet Club, classic skin God.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
No, but again, and I'm looking forward to watching the Road to Destruction shows
Oh
with
yes.
the matches that go on between these teams. Because like unlike again, I think the best part of these guys going home to America or wherever they're UK, wherever they're from,
Mm.
um, was the fact that we got a break on certain tour in this last bit
Mhm,
because
mhm,
pre G1, all I saw was just five guys. All I saw was House of Torture. All I kept, and then
mhm,
post G1, same goddamn thing came back where these guys seem fresh and I am enjoying it.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Um, while we're still also talking about new gear, David Finley's new gear with the bronze trim,
Mm.
super, super good. I like that. I don't know if it's like brand new or if I just never noticed it before, but I noticed it today.
Yeah.
Um, Chase Owens gear also very, very good. Um, Gedo's not. I don't know what the hell he's wearing on those feet of his, but like the sole is so thick. It like looks like he's wearing like a platform, but not quite. It just looks like he maybe like stepped on a platform and it partially melted when he stepped on it and it just kind of went
Yeah.
looks ridiculous.
Hmm.
Um get some wrestling shoes, sir.
Yeah.
Um Talking about the guys, though, it was really nice, as you said, to see these guys again. They did feel fresh. They felt like a breath of fresh air in the kind of consistency that we've been dealing with. Um, Kid, though, holy frackety frick, frukin', he's like coming in at 1,000. I'm gonna need him to come down to 100. Holy shit, chill pill, my guy. Whew. Coughlin, wrestling very technical in this one. I'm used to seeing him just being a flat out powerhouse, but like he was really working. What is that? The bow and arrow? Quite a bit. Is that what he
Yep.
was doing? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Hey, I knew a move. Gold Star Melball.
Gold Star
Um,
Millwall.
he was working that really, really, really good, and then he pulled off a really, really good structured what was it? German, bridging German that we see all the time in Stardom, but I don't see it so much in NJPW, and I don't see it done as well in NJPW. When we do see it, it's kind of like the boys aren't quite as flexible as some of the girls. Apparently, Coughlin is.
Hmm.
Gosh dang. Seeing a lot less of the crazy eyes, too. Loving that.
Yeah.
Loving that.
But
Um,
just to give, I just want to give everybody the finish this match. So they never did.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I was going to say, yeah.
Finlay stops the gun stun from Tama, hits the Irish Curse backbreaker, tags in Gedo. Gedo hits the jawbreaker, but
Mhm.
then Tama just stands up, looks at him like, "Are you stupid?" and gun stuns him, and it's over. 1, 2, 3, and then there's a brawl after the match. They all fight each
Um,
other, and it was really good. And
mhm.
Jody's came out standing tall.
They did. They did. And it's been looking really good. Yeah, the last thing I had written down here was like Tama and Finley money.
Mm-hmm.
Money, 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 money. Those two. I don't know, like I don't was I just sleeping on Finley before? Like was he that fast
Yeah,
before?
I think we just haven't paid attention, and he's just finally showing us the brilliance that he has.
Because god dang, he would like it was like watching Azumi. Just the speed that he was going at, the reversals he was throwing at Tama when they were getting in there. I was like, holy heckin' crap. Like these two were just masterful when they were just in there, just the two of them. I'm really looking forward to their one on one.
Yeah, I really am too. We move on.
Yes.
It's LIJ's Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi taking on Chaos's Leo Rush and Yo, reuniting. Leo Rush with new music coming out here. Got some more heelish music, I guess. Um, because he's the bad guy now.
I
Yeah,
thought he was a bad guy before.
Nah, when he was in the Super Juniors, he was a good guy.
He was called the bad child. What did we think was going to happen with that?
He was because he was a bad child, but he
And
evolved.
they grow up
But he evolved.
eventually.
Again,
Well,
really
not so
fun.
much.
I thought a really fun tag match here. Good, quick action from all these guys. Just really good back and forth, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Hiromu just all, and I feel like Hiromu's turning into just the junior heavyweight version of Shingo Takagi in like the best possible way. That
Explain.
that the lariat is
Oh yeah.
he's hitting pumping bombers now. He's got that pop up power bomb. Like it's almost like he has still his great moveset, but he's emulated in some of the best stuff of Shingo Takagi, and I love it.
You think maybe that Hiromu's maybe trying to push to get himself, have himself like finish off his junior weight division strong, and then maybe move up into that G1 next year.
I'm really, really hope. Like, and again, this is another prediction for me on October 9th. I don't think Hiromu's dropping the belt to Leo Rush or Mike Bailey.
Mm,
I think he keeps the title, and I think he ends up dropping it to somebody I don't know who at
mm,
the Dome. And that's where and then on the New Beginning show, the Final Night, is where he finally makes that transition, saying, "I'm going to heavyweight." I think, yeah,
ooh. Do you think it could be maybe be a returning who
Yui
my sweater is Bone Soldier returning Ishimori Taiji. Was
depending on where he's
Hiromu
injured.
who injured him, right?
It's very possible, or maybe
Mm.
there is still one more young lion out there who's about to come back because he just wrapped up with Impact, Mr. Yuya Uemura.
Oh.
If they want,
Mm.
if they want to shoot this kid in hot, bring him back.
How's he been doing over there?
Really, really good. He's
Ooh.
had
Oh
some
yes, he's been teaming with what's his face?
Joe
Henry.
Hendry. Yeah, the
Yeah.
last little bit of it's been a kind of more comedy, but he's really good. He's getting so, and I think
Henry.
him coming back, I think he could be really good. And again, I think he could be the guy like you give him that title in at Wrestle Kingdom. That guy is made man, especially beating
Or you give it
Hiromu.
to Ishimori and then let Hiromu go on and have that with Yu Uemura and Ishimori.
That could be very possible. But yeah, the
Mm.
end of this match came.
Mhm.
Leo Rush hits the Rush Hour to Bushi and hits the final hour frog splash for the win.
Mhm. Mhm.
Go Leo!
I mean, we did know. Unfortunately, usually going into most matches, it's gonna be Bushi, which is sad because he's so over with the crowd. Just let the guy win.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing I want to add is I really enjoy the head games that Hiromu is playing with Leo. Very
Hmm.
aggressive, very over the top, which we were used to with Hiromu. But like the weirdness that he was doing at the beginning, like where he just ran into the ring and was just all like in Leo's face and
Yep.
you know, yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed that Leo didn't lose his ish and actually like played along with it. I liked it. I liked the kind of story that they told there. This was a fun match though. It was very much like one of those high speed cruiserweight matches. Very fun. Lots of jumps, lots of dives, lots of flips,
Dive,
lots of
dive,
stuff.
dive. Yep. Again, really good, really good. Oh, another good junior tag match on this show.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
When we move on,
Ha.
Teats, Teats. I love Teats.
Toots.
Teats, Teats. I love Teats.
Big toots.
Big Teats. Chaos's Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii versus TMDK's Big Teats, Bad Dude Tito, and Zack Sabre Jr. I love this match. Like, I love Bad Dude Tito so goddamn much. Big Teats is,
He's a national treasure.
dude, he's so good. And like his back and forth with when he was in there with Ishii, like just going power for power with Ishii and like dropping Ishii, but Ishii dropping him. It was just so good.
Mhm.
But then when he was facing off with Okada at times, he looked like, okay, this guy could, like, I felt like this guy was ready to be there with with Okada, the way they're going back and forth, and it gave me such confidence in who this dude is. It was so good. And then Sabre getting in there, just working Okada over, technically looked great, but Okada having answers for it. I love the little rivalry that they're building there. And then same with Ishii and Sabre, those two always have classics, man. This really good match. Like, again, really strong tag match. And it seems like, because the ending came, Ishii and Sabre have a great series of reversals, and with Sabre getting the European clutch for the win. And then after the match, Sabre's getting in like Okada's face, saying stuff to him, and then he's motioning like a belt motion and pointing at them. So I took that as to say that TMDK wants a shot at the trios or the 6-man titles. But
I wouldn't mind seeing Big Teats as a champion in NJPW.
But what 3 do you do? Is it Haste, Sabre, and Teats, or is it Haste, Nichols, and Teats, or like a Sabre in there? Like, what's the dynamic, or is it?
I mean, depending on the date, maybe we'll have a certain somebody back.
A little bit of Fujita?
A little bit of Ichiban sweetness, a little bit of Ichiban spiciness, maybe. I would love to see that. I would love that, actually.
I know
Zack Sabre Jr., Teats, and Fujita.
I know this kid's on excursion, but I expect him back in a couple weeks. Like, I really
kind of want this.
Well, no, I expect him back because for him and Robbie to be coming in to do the Super Junior tournament that's in October. It starts on the 21st.
I wouldn't have a taste of that. Yeah,
that to me would be the shortest excursion of all time.
But I mean, technically, I would be so bold as to say, did his excursion really start when he left for Australia, or did his excursion start the few months beforehand when he was maybe somewhat reluctantly at first brought on to TMDK?
Well, technically, you need to leave New Japan to have an excursion. Technically.
There's been a lot of technically things that have just kind of been like shoved into the corner and told to be quiet this year.
I just really think, because like, why wouldn't you have a TMDK representation in the Super Junior Tag Tournament? Because if you're taking Robbie and Fujita out, that's another spot you have to fill from outside of the company, because you don't have it. Because like, I don't like. Personally, I don't want to see Hiromu in the junior tournament. He's already the singles champion. I don't want him in there. I want Teton back to team with Bushi for that team.
Oh, yes.
So, and then we'll talk about other teams coming here in a few minutes. As I have thoughts on another team that should be going into this. But again, there's all these questions on what certain teams are going to be, because yeah.
With this match, I just had two things I wanted to say. There was one point where Teats was given Ishii a taste of his own medicine, and I lived for it, because Ishii is known for doing that back chop and forearm follow-up in the corner. And Teats was doing that to Ishii, except for instead of like hitting him in the throat like Ishii does, he was actually, hitting him where he was supposed to. Also, that blockbuster from Big Teats was fan-freaking-tastic. Great match.
Yeah. Big Teats, big energy, big awesome. You know what I mean? Like, this dude, like, and again, I've only been watching this guy for
a hot minute
since last fall, I think, when he joined Team DK with Jonah, when Jonah was running the team.
Yeah.
As he joined as part of on the strong side. So like, and this guy has just gotten better and better, and I'm like, holy shit, I am a Big Teats fan, man. I love this dude. Big Teats, man. Big Teats. So, it's a KOPW championship match. Mel messaged me going, "What the about?"
Yeah.
And I hadn't watched it yet when she messaged me, so I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. So this is our first chance to talk about this together. So I'll say this: the pre-match video was pretty freaking good. Loved the music in it. I really did.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so rules of this match is seconds are handcuffed. So Sanada's cuffed to Evil, Doki's cuffed to Yujiro, and Taka's cuffed to Dick Togo. Evil doing his evil shtick, taking forever to get handcuffed. Meh, meh, meh. Show running away for the first point, trying to get his boys out of the cuffs, trying to threaten the announcer to unlock them, but just a lot of bullshit early. Um, yeah, they like Show pulled the turnbuckle himself and got Taichi to run into it. He takes Taichi to the floor, leaves him in the audience, comes back, but Taichi gets back in at 19, even though like and the stupidest part is this whole handcuff thing didn't do anything. Because
It did nothing.
it's the fact that uh Yujiro still got a hold of Taichi, trying to hold him on the outside. And Doki, all he's doing is like leaning back, pulling on the cuff. And I'm just like, why aren't you hitting this motherfucker? Why aren't you like physically wrestling him to the ground to stop him from interfering with your guy? Like,
Yeah.
fuck. I don't know. And then like shows choking Taichi, and then he goes for a hockey pin, but the ref won't do it. Just stuff.
Mhm.
Again, it just all these different little stupid things. Taichi gets whipped into the exposed corner, but then comes back out all fired up, hits the axe bomber, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but like it's just Taichi. There was a great spot though. He ran Evil into the barricade. He threw Evil into the barricade, which knocked over the announcer. Which I was a little more forgiving of the spot there because it was like take a bit of your own medicine, and Sanada just stood there, like it just
Yeah, it's like why did we have to attack the announcer in the first place? Throw him into Yujiro.
yeah. And then so Taichi gets back in after that. He gets to Gamagiri, but then Evil's distracting the ref. What the fuck is Sanada doing? Like,
Being Sanada.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole stipulation make no flipping sense,
It
man.
made things worse than it made things better, that's for sure.
Yeah. So then, like, Show, like, Yujiro pushes the stick into Show, and then the ref gets a hold of it, and then Togo throws the powder into Taichi's eyes, and then Show gets the low blow, and it just
Shenanigans.
uh, Show gets the wrench, but this is where Yoshinobu Kanemaru comes out, and we're like, oh shit, he's healthy, perfect, he's back, perfect. He takes the wrench and then tosses it away, gets his whiskey, drinks it down, goes to spray the Show, and we got a Vince Russo turn, ladies and gentlemen. The obvious Vince Russo turn. Like, as one guy's holding the chair, gonna hit somebody, and then he turns. He was loading up the whiskey, and he blew it in Taichi's face. Reveals the House of Torture shirt under the Just Five Guys shirt. Hits a brainbuster to Taichi. Show hits Shock Arrow. And Show is your new King of Pro Wrestling 2023 champion.
Did some bullshit.
Ah,
As if that title had it like already like struggled to have some kind of prestige behind it. Now we got this over animated Ibushi wannabe fuckhead. And I'm sorry. I love Ibushi, but gosh dang, this guy takes it too far. He's such a good in-ring talent, but then his freaking facial expressions are just ridiculous. They're not even good. They're ridiculous. They're too over the top. Everything he does.
if this was Show of like 2 years ago,
Fuck
I'd be all for this. Even if it's the show that just went to House of Torture, like the early house, like when he just got there, I'm down for that version of Show winning this title, but
Not
this
this
is
one.
the Show that's become the junior heavyweight joke, in my opinion.
He is.
And then
He's a
after
bigger
the
joke
match,
than Yano at this point.
yeah. So after the match, Kanemaru hits Taka and Douki with the whiskey bottle. And Evil did something to Sanada. I didn't actually track what he did. And
Yeah,
then they get them all on handcuff because Kanemaru had the key the whole time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Then they bring just 5 guys into the ring, cuff them to the ropes, and then they gang beat Taichi. They all gang up and beat on Taichi. Show says you'll be crying tonight. Go to your hotel and cry. Evil gets the mic. He says they're just 4 guys, and he does. And he makes it a lumberjack match. There somehow he had the ability to make it a lumberjack match, but it's now a lumberjack match so that makes me like look forward to this match even less because it's fucking Jesus. But there is one shining thing to come out of this, hopefully, with Kanemaru moving over. It's the fact that hopefully Dick Togo will not be in the Super Junior Tag League.
That would be nice.
I'm praying it's Kanemaru and Show. And Dick Togo's left to go do his dick things in the back.
His dick things. Let's hope so.
That's the only shining, it's the only glimmer that came out of this whole thing is that hopefully we don't have to watch Dick Togo as part of as an active part of the House of Torture matches in Best of the Super Junior.
There's also one good thing that also came out of this. And that was that clearly the Just 5 Guys, the artists formerly known as Just 5 Guys, sponsorship money clearly came in. Taichi had a new entrance robe and it didn't look like shit.
And as Kevin Kelly was saying, they have a warehouse full of Just 4 Guys gear. Because they're back to being Just 4 Guys. So the rumor is that Just 5 Guys gear sold out pretty goddamn quickly. And there's a warehouse full of Just 4 Guys shit. So they can just go back to being Just 4 Guys.
Because they freaking only were 4 guys for a month before adding Sanada.
I know.
Like,
So
I can only imagine the person in HR sitting there looking at them going, seriously, guys?
I can just imagine they're like, okay, perfect. We got all this old merch. You're Just 4 Guys again. Now we can sell all this merch. But
it was something that should have been so big and so important, and it like from what I wrote down is like when Kanemaru came out, I was like, oh, okay, yay, and then I went, oh no, like it should have been a poppable moment, and it wasn't. It should have been like more impactful and more dramatic. We literally had someone who I thought would never turn on Taichi, specifically on Taichi. And it was just kind of like a moment because of the House of Torture's involvement. It's really sad.
Yeah, like I don't recommend watching this. Just like the other House of Torture, Just 5 Guys match, I don't recommend this.
Even for the story, it was just not worth it.
If you want to see the ending, it's on Twitter. It's on the videos on Twitter. If you want to see Kanemaru turning, it's there. So
maybe he'll get some better gear out of it, though. That's my hope. Because House of Torture has some pretty decent gear, except for Show's intro jacket, which is still stupid.
The stupid extra arms. We're gonna move on.
Yes.
The match that disappointed me most on this evening, while still being a great match, it disappointed
me. I was going to say, that seems to be their consistency, isn't it?
Bishamon, Gedo, and Yoshi-Hashi defending the IWGP Tag Team Championships against TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes with Bad Dude Tito and Zack Sabre Jr. in their corner. Good back and forth to start. TMDK did some double teams, hit the senton fish drop combo. Bishamon come back. They got a double team on haste, and they do the war drums. Good. It's really good back and forth in here. Like Sabre really going to work on Gedo. They're really working Gedo over early in this match.
Yeah.
Gedo fights back though, gets the lariat to both in the corner and gets that running hits the wheel kick and the double wheel kick in the corner and hits the double bulldog out of the corner. Again, it was a good. This is a good match.
Yeah.
Yoshi-Hashi and he's still got that fire, man. He's still doing great, man.
G1 Yoshi-Hashi still going strong.
He attacks double TMDK double team, but Yoshi-Hashi fights them both off, sending them to the floor, and he hits that barrel roll over the top. And that's why he gets a tope on Hilo, but he kind of just goes just over the top, and he's just like, Whoa! It's like more like a barrel roll over the top, but he makes it. Good spot there. Then he gets over the top of the floor, and then back in the ring, he gets the blockbuster to haste. He stops the double team, hits that beautiful inverted exploder to Gedo, and that Falcon Arrow Falcon Arrow slam to Yoshi-Hashi. Really good back and forth. TMDK gets that superplex, the superplex bomb thing where you have Nichols power bombing haste while he's
While he's
superplexing Yoshi-Hashi off the top. That was a great spot.
And then having to throw haste on top for the pin because he power bombed his partner.
Yeah, get a 2 count there. TMDK again, really good back and forth. In the end, Yoshi-Hashi's attacking Nichols, but haste attacks, and they hit the highway to hell, which is that Death Valley Driver neckbreaker combo. They only get 2. So they go for the tank buster on Yoshi-Hashi, but Gedo stops them, and Yoshi-Hashi gets Nichols, hits the crucifix bomb, and Bishamon retain the titles.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The result of this, exactly what you said. It was a great match, but the results sucked. And I echo that. It took the energy right out of me. Like, it was such a great ride. It's like watching a Finn Balor match. Everything is fantastic until he gets to his coup de grace. And because I'm not a fan of that move, it's like it takes me right up there and then just drops me off a cliff. And that was how the result of this kind of felt.
For me, the result is more because I wanted TMDK to win this. The story has been building. The story has been building to TMDK winning this.
Mm-hmm.
And Bishamon retains the titles?
Yeah. I mean, it's not what I would have done, obviously, and it's not what you would have done either. No. But again, as we said, the ride there was incredible. Like, TMDK is super aggressive in this match. And, like, their hunger for these titles is very evident based on how hard they were fighting in this match. The kicks that freaking Haste has, specifically to Gedo when they were dominating at the beginning there, was just insane. But then, like, the chops that Nichols was feeding him, those were some Osprey level chops, like in regards to noise. Because I think that Osprey has the loudest chops I've ever heard. But Nichols was pretty up there. Really impressive with that. This was a high-speed, high-impact match for both these teams. And I honestly did expect TMDK to come out on top. I'm very disappointed.
Me too.
I really hope the reasoning behind this was good.
The story felt like TMDK, but and I also look at the World Tag League too. Like, the junior division is going to be interesting to see who comes out of that, because there's a few tag teams, but then there's also you can bring in ABC. Find somebody for Bailey to work with. You could have some really interesting stuff there. Actually, Bailey won't be there because he's at Bound for Glory with Will Ospreay the same day as the tag tournament starts. So he won't be in it. But there's always some cool teams that you could see do some stuff in this tournament, right?
100%.
Where the World Tag League, So, are you going to reunite Tama and you got Hikuleo and uh and El Phantasmo.
Hmm.
You've got the Wardogs. You've got possibly Tangaloa and Tamatonga.
Hmm.
And then you have TMDK. You again, I'm trying it's hard to trying to think what plausible tag teams could be in the World Tag League.
Hopefully, they have some aces up their sleeves. Maybe we'll see a lot more coming over from North America. I don't know.
Does Aussie Open come back for a tour? Like,
I wouldn't be too unhappy with that. I mean, how busy are they in North America?
well, they're wrestling on Wrestle Dream this weekend against
But yeah,
FTR.
but like in general, like are they wrestling
Pretty much every week or every second week they're on TV. They're working almost every week
every second week?
every
Nah,
week.
if they're wrestling every second week, they get time. They can spare them.
No, but
Give them
again,
back. We'll utilize them.
they've been pretty regularly used by AEW between ROH, AEW, and all the AEW shows. They've been regularly used. So
Why haven't I not been hearing about this? AEW, fix your socials.
I hear about it all the time.
I
You don't
follow them. I don't see it.
Huh? I do.
You're barely on socials. How are you seeing it?
Oh, I read socials. I just don't post.
Child. Let's move on from this mess.
So I how do I put this match?
Time constraints. Hurry it up.
Yeah, this match was Shingo Takagi versus Great Khan, which I've seen so many times just this year,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't a lot of difference except for maybe I know Khan got an Argentine backbreaker into a Hercules cutter. That was one of it. That was something new they added to their thing. But again, I enjoyed the match. I had a good time watching it as I watched it. But if you've seen the Shingo Takagi and Great Khan match, you've seen this match. I'm sorry to say, um, it was good. Again, they've never had a bad match, but again, it feels like the greatest hits with these two.
I felt Shingo was a little different in this one. I felt Leo Khan was pretty much his usual adaptable self, but like he adapts to everything, so it kind of starts to feel repetitive for him. For
Yeah,
Shingo, I actually felt that he was more technical in this one, trying to counteract a little bit more with the technicality of the Great Khan. But we also saw him do a few aerials. And we don't see Shingo pull out aerials very often. It's kind of like Will Ospreay pulling out his, what is that? That's the
Sky
new
Twister.
one. Yeah,
Sky.
that one. He doesn't pull that out much. He only pulls it out when he needs to.
Every singles match he's in, he's pulling a Sky
Okay,
Twister.
well then it wasn't the right freaking move. Why'd you tell me the wrong move, doofus?
Well, I can't think of
What
any
is the
other.
move that he does not do regularly that he pulls out when he cannot pick up that win? That is what Shingo did in this one.
His finisher, Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker he does a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know what else in that match I could think of. We'll talk about when we get to it. But
No. I'm not talking about a specific match. I'm talking in general.
we'll talk about it when we get to him. My favorite part of this match is Kevin Kelly during Great Khan's entrance, making the comment of how like Okan's living the life, like he's living a life like he's partying with porn stars and drinking Cristal, but he should be in the gym training to get better. He's not saying he's doing that, but he said he's living a life like he's partying with porn stars. Just the fact that Kevin Kelly said that line made me laugh so hard.
I mean, he's not exactly secret about it if you follow him on his social medias.
Oh, dude, I loved it. I loved it so much. I would love to see Khan in a club partying with porn stars and strippers.
Follow him on Instagram, you'd see it a lot more.
I don't. But again, it was a good match. Like, I'm not saying this was a bad match. It was a good match. These guys did good stuff. They always work well together. But I didn't feel like the formula changed at all. You know what? You get what I mean? Like,
I understand what you're saying. I just disagree.
yeah. Yeah. Again, in the end, though, Takagi hits the pumping bomber, follows it up, lash to the dragon, and Chigo Takagi gets the win here. Again, really good match. Just again, I enjoyed it. It just felt like the same thing I've watched for the last while.
Some wrestlers get to a point of that where in their career where everything starts to feel the same. We've seen it happen all over.
Yeah, I still love both these guys. Just I don't know. I think I'm tired of watching. I think I've watched these two so much this year that that's why. I don't know.
Probably because they put on really good matches, and
Yeah.
like to be hard pressed to be like finding singles matches for other people. Like, what other possible combinations could we do with other feuds, right?
Oh, I understand. And maybe because this one doesn't quite live up to maybe some of the matches I've seen these two have in the past.
Mm.
Maybe that's why because this was it was good, but
Yeah, it was a good match. There just wasn't anything on the line.
it wasn't one of their great matches that I've seen these two have. That's
Mm.
why maybe I don't have that like yeah feeling for this match.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. But we're gonna move on. Semi-main event of the evening. It is a singles contest for the IWGP World Heavyweight Title #1 contendership.
That is a terrible picture of Cobb.
Yeah, no, they did not do a good job with the picture on this one.
No,
Just no.
y'all more handsome
I
than
pulled it
him.
This is the one I pulled right from the NJPW site. So
Guys.
yeah, Tetsuya Naito defending his #1 contendership that he won in the G1 against Mr. Jeff Cobb, who's accompanied by Mr. Callum Newman. Basic lockup to start. Cobb and Naito. I'm gonna go through this one and the main event definitely quickly. Cobb and Naito good back and forth coming off the rope. Good back and forth. In Cobb, LIJ does the LIJ pose, and Naito spits in his face, and then low bridges him to the floor. Fighting out on the floor, back in the ring. Cobb stops the tornado DDT, but Naito slips out of the suplex. But Cobb does hit the belly to belly. Cobb pulling Naito's hair, beating him up, hitting the lariats in the corner. Cobb gets a combinacion cabron and gets the 2 counts out of it. Cobb gets the bear hug, but Naito fights out. Cobb gets the lariat, but misses the standing moonsault. Naito drop kicks the knee. Naito landing hits the Cobb, gets him to the corner, hits combinacion cabron. Naito starts out like really throwing the elbows to the neck, gets a neck breaker. Cobb tries the German he gets it like Naito on the apron, and he stands up Claudio Castagnoli style and goes to try and German Naito up over the top rope back into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He can't seem to get him up, so he brings him over the corner, stands on the second turnbuckle, and picks him up and just straight up superplexes him over from the apron into the ring. Looked really powerful, but after seeing him fail at the German one, you're like, maybe not as spectacular. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't get the German one. It was just like, okay.
Didn't Bushi used to do that too?
Yeah, Bushi used to do that. Claudio's done that a bunch of times. That German too, along with his superplex from that spot too. Yeah, and then he hits a standing moonsault for 2. Cobb puts Naito up top, but Naito slips out, climbs back up, gets the Frankensteiner, then hits the Esperanza, and then he goes for the tornado DT, but Cobb turns it into a spin cycle, hits F5000, but can only get 2. Naito fights off Tour of the Island with elbows to the neck versus off the shoulders into a poison Rana, which looked brutal. The way Cobb landed, like that looked painful. Off that poison Rana, Cobb stops Destino. Naito rolls him up with that, and then gets the tornado DDT for 2. Then he gets the tornado DDT roll up that he does for 2. Naito hitting the elbows to the neck, kiss the enziguri. Cobb gets a German, hits a lariat, but Naito reverses Tour of the Island into a quick Destino, then gets him up It's the Destino for the win. Naito is officially going to Wrestle Kingdom to face somebody for the world title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't think that was going to
Me either.
change. Yeah, Cobb did spend a lot of the beginning of this match just yeeting Naito around. He's just kind of the epitome of raw power and athleticism. This guy, I mean, that standing moonsault is just, as Kevin likes to say, it's just not fair.
No,
It isn't.
not at all.
I always like when Naito does his combinación cabron and does the pause, makes you wait for the drop kick in the face. And he always seems to do it just that more solidly with Cobb. That F5000 was ridiculous. That was so ridiculous. We actually got the rare and elusive replay that NJPW rarely does. We got a replay on that, and rightfully so, because Naito just wee. Oof, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, but again, I think we all knew the outcome coming because like there's no way
Yeah.
Naito was dropping this.
No. There was
And
no way, especially with that little bag.
I love Cobb and all, but Cobb was not the guy. It was not the guy to take this from Naito. Like the only person I could like if NJPW wanted to do it for just that piece would be Osprey because of how hot this guy is right now. That he would be
Mm,
the only person I could see taking the main event from Naito in this whole company. You know what I mean? Just he's the only
mhm.
person that has the heat to do it. Cobb does not have the heat to do it right now.
Yeah, but you know what no one would like to see is Sanada and Osprey. I don't
Yeah.
think that would be a good match at all.
If anybody could get a good match out of Sanada, though, it would be Osprey or Naito.
The problem isn't Sanada not it's not Sanada having a good match because we've seen him have tons and dozens of good matches. What we haven't seen is him have great matches.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. He's literally on the cusp of that greatness, but he's missing just that little something that makes, I don't want to say it makes him special, but like he's missing that little,
Je ne sais quoi.
yeah, the sparkle, the thing, the flair that makes him different from Naito, that makes him different from Evil, that makes him different from Kazuchika Okada. He's missing that pizzazz.
Yeah.
He's missing that edge, and he needs to find that.
He really does. And again,
Mhm.
I think Naito is going to take him to something pretty darn spectacular at that at Wrestle Kingdom.
100%.
But I'm saying I truly only believe there's two people in this company that could do something special with Sanada, and that is Naito because of there's a history there, and
Mm.
Will Ospreay because just how good that guy is and how good of matches he can pull out of people. Like look at
Mhm.
the Jericho match. I didn't expect I was excited for it because it's Ospreay, but I didn't expect a lot of the match. That match was way better than I thought it was going to be. Because again, it's Ospreay can bring the best. He like
Let's get to the next match while we're talking about Osprey.
talking about Will Ospreay. I truly believe he's the Shawn Michaels of this current era. Like he's the guy you put in a ring, always has a hot match, always can work with practically anybody. Like that's who I think he is right now.
Okay.
Personally.
Mhm.
Main event of the evening is for the IWGP United Kingdom Championship, and you will see on the graphic of this video, I've got the picture of him wearing the UK title in the Osprey picture up from the thumbnail of this video. Will Ospreay defending the title versus Yota Tsuji. Good feel out early, basic wrestling transitions early, trying to get dominance. Tsuji gets the shoulder block, but Ospreay pops right back up to show you're maybe bigger than me, but you're not putting me down. Really good. This is where it starts to really speed up. Osprey, Tsuji gets the monkey flip out of the corner, but Osprey lands on his feet. Tsuji sends Osprey to the floor, hits a suicide dive, driving Osprey into that barricade. They wrestle around the ring. Osprey sends Tsuji. They wrestle back into the ring. Then Osprey ends up sending Tsuji to the floor. Hits the aggressive plancha, like Christian. Tsuji reverses the whip, but and whips Osprey into the barricade. But Osprey hops over the barricade, then comes hopping off the barricade with the flying forearm. Osprey gets the Mayor Fuji-esque chops in the ring and gets the boot across the face to a seated Tsuji in the corner. And then hits a backbreaker across the knee for 2. Osprey targeting the back with the forearms. Then they start trading shots. Tsuji reverses Osprey's whip and then catches him with a tilt world backbreaker. Big head scissors by Tsuji, sending Osprey to the floor, and Tsuji hits a beautiful, absolutely stunning Fosbury flop over the top to Osprey on the floor. That dude is amazing. Like, holy shit, man. Like, I see why you were so high on him coming back. I really
right
more and more, and like more and more. And I think this is the most athletic I think we've seen him overall, and he's been really athletic up to this. But like, he's getting that chance with the one guy that they can go all out, balls out. He like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, dude, this guy is so flipping good, man. He gets Osprey back in the ring and gets that gory special, the inverted gory special, and then sits it out, sits it out with the slam. Osprey fights back and gets this handspring flip kick and hits a springboard forearm for 2. Osprey gets Kawada kicks. Tsuji reverses, hits a backbreaker, flatliner thing that he does, and then into that stomp.
Oh yeah, so good.
Just bang, bang, stomp, and it's just like, oh, it looks like it's kills, man.
It's like a 3-hit combo in Street Fighter, man. It just bang, 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 combo breaker.
Yeah. Tsuji Osprey misses a hidden blade, goes for the power bomb, but Tsuji gets him up into the suplex and hits the Falcon Arrow driver for 2. Osprey stops the spear. They trade spots back and forth, and Osprey gets the Spanish fly. They're trading forearms, and these two are just laying into each other. It's awesome. Tsuji just dropping Osprey, but then Osprey gets right back up and hitting shots, hit the beautiful hook kick, and Tsuji rolls to the apron, and then he ends up stopping the Os cutter, but then Osprey dodges the stomp off the apron to the floor. Dude, just so good. And then he gets on. Then Osprey comes off the second turnbuckle to Tsuji on the floor with the Os cutter. Look, just sick. Dude, just these two going back and forth. Just Osprey hits the Spanish fly off the top, hit 2. Then he hits a power bomb for 2. He unloads the kicks to the head, hits the Os cutter, but he only gets 2. Like, Jesus. Tsuji reverses Stormbreaker and hits a stunner, then gets the Gene Blast spear, but Osprey gets a foot on the ropes. They even kick just foot. I was like, Tsuji hits a stomp, like coming off the top. Then he hits his own Stormbreaker. Yeah. Goes for the pin, but only 2. Like, Jesus, man. Tsuji goes for the Gene Blast spear, but Osprey smacks him in the face with a hidden blade. Then he hits him with his own Gene Blast, as Charlton yelled. But he only gets 1 because Tsuji kicks out at 1. So Osprey hits Storm Driver 93, but only gets 2. Osprey then hits a hidden blade to the face, picks him up, Stormbreaker. Osprey is still your IWGP United Kingdom champion.
I mean, barely.
Dude, he hung on by the skin of his teeth, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What I've been telling you. When I saw that Tsuji was making his way from the UK to CMLL, I was like, oh, Lordy. Lord have mercy on us. And that first match back, we
Oh.
saw him in that one-on-one with Sanada. I was like, ooh, he's got that thing where Tsuji has that size. He's got that height and size advantage, but it doesn't affect him at all. Because, I mean, look at the CMLL guys. Just going to say, most of them do not have the physique of Will Ospreay, and they barely don't have the physique of Tsuji. So to be able to move the way he does, to be able to pull off the lucha, the speed that he has, the flexibility, the just seeming like aerodynamicy, is that a word? The guy can fly, the guy can hit, the guy can move. I mean, Yota Tsuji, very, very well-rounded future of this business, I would say.
Yeah, and like these guys are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
That's the messed up part. These two are the same age, but Ospreay is a veteran. He's been doing this for 15 years. He started when he was like 15 or 16 years old. Tsuji's been in this business about 6 years now. Since he started training in 2017. So like the fact it's amazing, and I love it. And Ospreay takes Tsuji's hand after the match and fist bumps him. Like I love the sign of respect there.
I mean, it's not like Tsuji was conscious to do so himself.
Well, I really liked it. And then Ospreay gets the mic, says, "Tsuji, you are amazing. The future of New Japan is in good hands." And I love that, him saying that line. Then he goes on to talk about the town, and then Zack Sabre Jr. rolls out, Mr. World, Mr. TV Champion, comes out, and they talk back and forth Japanese. I'm getting translations from Chris Charlton. He's pretty much going back and forth, making small comments at each other about, "Oh, you're so great. I'm so." And they're just little back and forth comments at first. And then Sabre challenges Ospreay for the belt at Royal Quest 3 in London, England, at the Copper Box. And Ospreay stands there. He stands there. And he eventually accepts the challenge. And this is all in Japanese. Then they end up bowing to each other. They go in. They're like, and they shake hands. Then Ospreay they let go. Then Ospreay tries to come at him with a hidden blade, but Sabre dodges. And then they both stand up like. But then Sabre grabs his title and gets it because Sabre had dropped his belt during the challenge, and when they shook hands and he went to pick it up, right, and that's when Ospreay tries to take his head off with a hidden blade, but Sabre dodged out of the way and then got his belt and got out of there. But dude,
you didn't say the best part.
What's that?
Where little cheeky boy there, Mr. Ospreay, reached across and just pulled the velvet because he doesn't have snaps on the back of that piece of shit.
Yeah, and that's why it fell off, yeah.
And that's why he just whoop, he pantsed him, essentially. I would assume that is the wrestling variation of pantsing your friend.
Yeah. I love these two. Just little I didn't understand anything they were saying to each other, but just the facials they were making at each other, and just the little looks and jeers they were making at each other on their face was just perfection, and I'm excited. And each match for anybody who wants to see
these two,
anybody who wants to see this Royal Quest show, it's going to be live on October 13th, I want to say.
Friday the 13th?
I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. Royal Quest 3. Oh, sorry. Saturday, October 14th.
Okay, I was going to say, whew, what a cursed day that would be.
It's going to be, but it's not going to be on New Japan World. Just like last year, just like the year before. But if you have a Rev Pro subscription, for the Rev Pro On Demand, which I do, you can watch it on Rev Pro On Demand.
Well, we know what we're going to be doing on Saturday the 14th.
Yeah, I'll be working.
Party at Lowe's on 97.
I wish. Yeah, I'll be watching that when I get home after work that day. That's for damn sure. But yeah, it will be live on on Rev Pro on demand, so it will not be on New Japan World. If you want to check that one out live, they did say
Mhm.
it will be up at a later date on New Japan World, but it is live on Rev Pro site.
There you go.
Yeah,
Rev Pro viewers, get on it. Enjoy
I'm going to.
it.
But we have come to an end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. I want to thank all of you for joining us here. Thank you for all the great comments, all the likes, all the subscribes, all the everything, the comments. We really do appreciate it. And please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. Uh, but as we get out of here, I'm going to tell you where you can find me. You can find me on the X, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at that Canada Guy, the TikTok, the Instagram, the Threads at the Canada Do, and on our Facebook page, Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can find me over there. Uh, check us out over there. Send me some comments on social media. I'll respond back to you. I like talking to you guys. I really do. And I'm following Joe Demetrius Frank now, watching all his great uh, workouts, and me and Bobby. I got Bobby Petito followed back on the Twitter, so I'll follow you back. Just add me, and I'll follow you back, ladies and gentlemen. You can also find me whenever I pop up. Which as of right now, it looks like starting next week, I'm gonna be back on OLE weekly with Marvel Talk, ladies and gentlemen. I should be back next week with the writer's strike wrapping up. We're gonna go back to doing the show because
Yay.
with the writer's strike wrapping up, the SAG strike, we're going to guess it's probably not too long. Going to wrap up not too long after this. So we're going to return with Marvel Talk now that the writers are back employed properly and making good money again.
Mhm,
We're going to go
mhm.
support the shows that they write. So you can check me out over on Marvel Talk at twitch.tv/our local establishment, Instagram and TikTok, OLE Podcast, and then youtube.com/at our local establishment. You can also find me and Mel when we pop up. All the shows are simulcasted on Backbreaker Video. Please go check it out for all the great wrestling content over there on Mike's channel at youtube.com/at Backbreaker Video. If you want to see all Mike's live gaming content or his AEW Dynamite watch along, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where you can find all of that. And if you want the replay as well as great gaming content, go to youtube.com/at backbreaker_game, where you can find him, Mr. PJC's replays, Mr. Rick Jules' replays, and their frequent guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J. Love Kayla J.
Yeah. Melball.
Yes.
Find you.
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else, which is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also catch me on our local establishments programming, Paramindful, along with Alex the Werewolf. We're going to be posting an EVP on Monday from Alex there. He's been wanting to kind of do some of his fun stuff with his fun new editing stuff. So I'm like, have at her. I don't even know what it's about yet. It's going to be a surprise for all of us. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. Hoping we're going to get a show out there on Friday before we go check out some local wrestling here, where we're going to be talking about some of the shakeups in WWE and some of the fun stuff happening in women's wrestling all around. If you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description, channel description, where you can go to njpwworld.com. It's approximately 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears, but it's actually more like 730, 750, depending on your dollar. Still an incredible price for some amazing wrestling. You can watch all of the stuff that we were talking about today, the Road to Destruction in Kobe, or you can go back into the databanks, catch some of the classics like the 1 hour matches between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. You can find some classic Jay White. You can find, heck, you go far back enough, you can find Jay White as a young lion. Wowzers. Yeah, you guys want to go see that. See when Juice Robinson was not so juicy. I mean, Uzi, I don't know. Whatever he is now is not what he was then. You guys want to go check out that evolution of him. That being said, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all the great support.
Nothing can be much said after that. That being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.